I had an epiphany today. It was like a symphony, that's all I'll say. Fire and spirit, I could see and hear it, a manifestation.
What if you find your sweetheart in the arms of your friend? That's when your heartaches begin. When your dreams of a lifetime must come to an end. That's when your heartaches begin. Howdy, folks. Just a little music for you before we start today's offering. I just couldn't resist. So we're going to have this week no food bank, but what will be happening is I'm going away on vacation. Don't call me, don't write. I'm away on vacation until September the 12th. So next week there won't be a service here, nor the week after. I can hear you clamoring, but it's going to have no effect whatsoever. However, if you need to get in touch with me, you call the church, 323-227-9931, and they will let you know how, if there's any kind of emergency, that's the number you can use. So I think that's it. More to report when I get back. God bless you, and be faithful to each other. Because if you're not, that's when your heartaches begin. The Holy Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Mark. Now when the Pharisees and some of the scribes who had come from Jerusalem gathered around Jesus, they noticed that some of his disciples were eating with defiled hands, that is, without washing them. For the Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat unless they thoroughly wash their hands, thus observing the tradition of the elders. And they do not eat anything from the market unless they wash it. And there are also many other traditions that they observe, the washing of cups, pots, and bronze kettles. So the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, Why do your disciples not live according to the tradition of the elders, but eat with defiled hands? He said to them, Isaiah prophesied rightly about you hypocrites, as it is written, This people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching human precepts as doctrines. You abandon the commandment of God and hold to human tradition. Then he called the crowd again and said to them, Listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside a person that by going in can defile, but the things that come out are what defile. For it is from within, from the human heart, that evil intentions come. Fornication, theft, murder, adultery, avarice, wickedness, deceit, licentiousness, envy, slander, pride, folly. All these evil things come from within, and they defile a person. The Gospel of the Lord. So I have always been envious of people who, when they encounter a problem, do not freak out. I have like a bad habit with this. For example, if I'm driving and I get lost, it's much better now than it was in the past, but if I'm driving and I get lost and I don't know where I am or what's going on, I get very excited. I might start to yell, I don't know what's going on here. Where is it? Where is this place? What's this? It's not it. So I can get very, very excited, right? This is not helpful. It doesn't get me where I'm going any faster. It doesn't help me find the direction. All it does is muddy the waters of my perception. I really envy those people who, when they encounter a problem, they go, okay, now this isn't where I thought I was going. Let's pull over here and let's see what's going on. and they remain calm, right? They remain calm. So how and why I do something affects the outcome. This seems quite obvious. How I do something affects the outcome. You know, it's a little bit like what the abstract expressionists, if you look at painters like Franz Kline and Jackson Pollock, and all those abstract expressionist painters of the 1950s, what the action of the action of painting is the painting itself. The action of painting is the painting itself. What I do is how I do it. Okay? There was a great debate, and still continues to be something of a debate in Christianity and in many other religions, I surmised, about belief. And the question, but it's a big question in Christianity, a controversy, is belief enough? Is belief by itself enough? The old language was, is belief enough to save you? You know, I don't believe that that's the question. Is belief enough for me to be able to see the movement of God in my life? Or do I need to do something? Is it belief and action, or is just belief enough? And the other question is, are actions alone going to help me see the movement of God in my life? So St. James, whose reading you're not going to hear on this webcast, but St. James in his letter, it's the only letter of St. James, says that no, absolutely that is not the case, that faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Martin Luther, the founder of the Lutherans, thought that this was absolutely a terrible thing to say. I am inclined to lean towards St. James's view. Faith without works is dead. But then again, Jesus in the gospel that you just heard, when he's talking about the washing of plates and the eating of different foods and all of that, says that actually, but actions by themselves also are not going to lead us to see how God is working in our lives. Actions by themselves for their own sake are not going to get us there. And we've all seen, you know, in various contexts, what it is like if you go to a church and they're very, very pious and they bow and they do everything perfectly, but the actual spiritual life underlying whatever that community is empty. That all of that, the ritual by itself without a movement of the heart is also empty. So there are two ways of doing these things, right? And it's like there are two ways of answering the door when somebody knocks. I can answer the door and think this is another hassle, here I go, and I throw open the door, or I can answer the door in an effort to make contact with the person on the other side of it, to engage that person. Now here's the other question though. Is it better to do something than not? Is it, so if I'm, let's suppose I'm working in a food bank, I don't want to go. I don't care about it, I don't want to go, right? Is it better that I stay home if that's my inner state, or should I go and work in the food bank anyway? There's an old saying, particularly in recovery circles, bring the body and the mind will follow. So if I don't want to do that, but actually I drag myself to do it, my mind is eventually going to catch up with my body. And this is what St. James is talking about. Be doers of the word, and to do things that soften my heart. Do things that soften my heart. So when I engage with people, when I give some money to somebody who's asking for it, when somebody's asking me for directions, and I just give them to them in an effort to make contact with that person, it all softens the heart. So all of this is a way of paying attention. It's a way of living our lives with our eyes open and our minds engaged. That's a way for me to do it, and it's a way for you to do it. And if I pay attention in that way, and believe me, I got a long way to go in this, but if I pay attention in that way, I begin to see the movement of God in my life and around me. And when I see that, it brings me peace.
We come too far, we can't go back. Nothing can stop us, we'll walk right past. We come too far in the middle of the night. You are the light. We come too far, we can't go back. Nothing can stop us, we'll walk right past. We've come too far.